Greetings, everyone. I am Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 11 of my favorite 30 guitar players of all time. We've been counting down all month long here in September 2024. Our favorite 30 guitar players across all genres, our absolute favorites, our longtime favorites, our lifelong favorites, or maybe for some of us, more recent favorites, right? Could very well be. Some great players I've talked about this month. There's even greater ones to come, in my opinion, at least the ones that, are more special to me, the most special to me, right? Because my top 10 starts tomorrow. But this particular guy, he's no longer with us. One of the absolute greats. You could arguably say that he was the greatest guitar player of all time because of some of the crazy things that he did. And one of those guys that long career as a solo artist, sure, but he did made all these appearances and all these bands and for other artists. And arguably some of the greatest stuff that he ever did was when he appeared on other people's albums or were in bands as a sideman type of thing. We talked about him here on the channel a lot. An amazing talent. No one like him. Let me bring to the stage here Alan Holdsworth. Yeah, of course. It can only be Alan Holdsworth, right? With that whole lead-in I just gave you. If you weren't sure who it was, you haven't been watching us enough here, because we've kind of talked about those things a lot here on SOT over the years, especially on in the prog seat and for Fusion Friday. And again, Holdsworth, arguably the greatest jazz fusion guitarist of all time. Just an amazing talent. A guy who, had this legato style where he wouldn't pick. He was famous for not picking all the notes, right? You have these great alternate pickers in history, right, who just pick every single note. And Alan was not like that. That whole legato style is letting your kind of fingers do the walking, and right, and you're picking every couple of notes, so to speak, letting the notes ring out, but more from your fingering than from your picking hand, right? It's just so fluid. And he had these ridiculously long fingers, and he used to do these crazy chord intervals and then these scales that just seem otherworldly, that he'd be able to kind of reach all this stuff. And a very unique way of writing, his solo career, filled with all sorts of, it's jazzy, but it's spacey. It's, nobody like him, really nobody like him ever. And, people have been thrilled with his playing for decades. And then even guys like Eddie Van Halen were kind of like, this guy is from another planet, right? Just so good. And as far as so of course my task today for Alan Holdsworth, as it has been every day this month, is to figure out my 3 favorite albums featuring his playing. Next to impossible, because every album that he appears on, magic happens. But like I said at the beginning, a lot of us longtime Holdsworth fans tend to think that even some of his best playing is when he appeared as a sideman with another artist or in another band, so to speak. So that's going to be the case for me as well here. I'm going to go, let's take a look and try and get these in some order here. I'm going to go with my first album is going to be Bundles, when he was with the Soft Machine. So here he is, looking all sorts of young. There he is. Right. Jesus, there we go. Right there, it is Alan. This was his first appearance with Soft Machine. He would go on to, he was just popping from band to band to band at this time. Go from Soft Machine to Gong, and we're going to talk about others in just a second. But he's absolutely incredible on here. And I'd argue that Hazard Profile, which is the big, long epic that kicks off the album, he's got some playing on that. It's just mind-blowing. His solo, his lengthy solo during Hazard Profile is one of the greats, and I almost picked that as my favorite guitar solo from Alan. But, he's still here. He's still pretty raw. His technique would continue to grow over the next few years. This was 1975. So he was as amazing as he was in 75. He would get even better over the next 5 to 6 to 7 years. He just kept his technical ability, his use of different, like I said, chord voicings and just the crazy scales he was doing. Just his technique just kept growing. But yeah, there's some amazing stuff on here. Gone Sailing's right. The title track is so good. Land of the Bag Snake. Again, Soft Machine, proggy, but certainly lots of jazz rock in here, a little avant-garde, right? But for a lot of people, the most accessible Soft Machine album to that point. Because a lot of what they did beforehand, they're coming out of the psychedelic era, and then it's like this weird kind of like almost free jazz stuff that they were doing. And then all of a sudden they bring in Holdsworth for bundles, and the sound becomes so much more accessible. All right, so that's my first pick there. Second, I'm going to go with his appearance with Jean-Luc Ponty, Enigmatic Ocean. And again, it's not all about Holdsworth here. That's the great thing about this album. You got the amazing violin work from Jean-Luc Ponty. You've got Daryl Sturmer on co-lead guitar. So you got Sturmer and Holdsworth trading back and forth throughout this. Steve Smith on drums. There's more folks on here as well, but that's just amazing playing. One of the great lineups of all time in fusion on this particular album. And it's not often, if at all, you ever get to hear Holdsworth playing with another guitar player. Right, so amazing stuff happening on here. Of course, the Trans-Love Express, the Enigmatic Ocean suite is amazing. Struggle of the Turtle to the Sea suite, amazing. Some amazing soloing from Holdsworth on this, and everybody else. Just fantastic stuff. And then for my pick number 3, I'm going to go with the Tony Williams Lifetime Believe It album. This is the collection that has both Million Dollar Legs and Believe It, but Believe It was the first album that he played with Tony Williams. Just absolutely incredible. This is high energy fusion, tighter songs, not as much kind of jamming, but more just ferocious fusion. I mean, Snake Oil Fred, Protocosmos, Red Alert, Mr. Spock, just some great stuff. And it's pretty rocking stuff. This is like Holdsworth at his probably most hard rocking, right? But it's still totally fusion, but some mind-blowing stuff going on in this album. And Tony Williams drums are just so good. Like I said, they would do the 2 albums together. He would play with Tony Williams, appear on a couple other albums, but as part of the band, the Lifetime band, these 2 albums. But Believe It, yeah, that's my pick number 3. And as far as let me take a sip. Hold on. A little bit of my pumpkin pie chai tea from the Republic of Tea. George, very good. Check that out. They sent me a sample. It's really good. They have they have that now available, and they have the apple pie chai, which my wife wants somebody to get a canister of that. They do the fall flavors and stuff. Anyway, I digress. Big fan of Republic of Tea. There's my ad for them right here. I've been a massive fan for years. I drink a lot of unsweetened iced tea around here, and I buy the canisters of the Republic of Tea. They're amazing. If you're a tea fan, so good. Anyway, my favorite solo, again, almost impossible because they're all so amazing. But if I had to just pick one, I was like, In the Dead of Night by UK, that was up there for the running. Hazard Profile was up in the running. There's so many other good ones. But ultimately, I got to go from his solo album, Metal Fatigue, and I've got to go with Devil Take the Hindmost, which is, Devil Take the Hindmost to me contains a solo that if you want to introduce someone to what Holdsworth is all about, that's the one. It's just got all his cool tricks and just the legato style is there, and the flurrying of notes and the subtle use of the whammy bar, because, he would use that very sparingly, but just to kind of extend notes a bit, which I think is really cool. And the blazing, effortless speed just is totally on display there. Just so good. So yeah, Devil Take the Hindmost from Metal Fatigue is my solo. And we got Believe It, Bundles, and Enigmatic Ocean from Tony Williams' Lifetime, Soft Machine, and Jean-Luc Ponty are my picks for albums. There's no wrong answer with Holdsworth. You could pick anything and it would be the right answer, right? So let me bring him back to the stage. You can see him one more time here. The late, great Alan Holdsworth is my pick for today, pick number 11. Let us know what you think of Alan down in the comments below, as well as your pick for today, pick number 11, and we'll see you tomorrow for number 10. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, and our Cameo page. And we also have you can join as a member here on the channel. I can never know how to exactly say it. There's a join button here if you want to do channel memberships. That's also available as well. So thanks, everybody, for all your support. And we'll see you in just a little while. Martin Popoff and I are getting back together after kind of like a little unplanned week break. And we will be finishing up our riff series, our favorite riffs of the 2000s. That's coming up in just a little while. We've got the Professor's Picks later on, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow, we have the UK Connection, a very, very fun show. Do not miss this one. We're going to talk about our favorite favorite soundtrack albums. And for everybody who watches the UK Connection, stay till the very end. We've got some unplanned stuff kind of happened at the end of the episode, so stay all the way till the end of the episode. Lots of laughs, loads of fun, and you do not want to miss a very, very fun episode. And then, of course, we've got ranking the albums on Sunday. I will be ranking the catalog of the Vanilla Fudge. So all that and more here on SOT. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you in just a little while for Friday morning at the Funhouse. Take care.